Pole position man Oliver Gavin needs to win here at Snetterton to narrow the gap between himself and Ralph Furman in the championship. But Gavin has major problems alongside him because on that front row is the experienced Geordie Warren Hughes with the Mitsubishi-powered Dallara. The championship leader Ralph Furman here at his own home ground. He lives but a mile or two away from the circuit, is languishing third fastest after practice, so Furman has left himself with a fair bit of work to do.
Jamie Davis next up, only 0.03 of a second behind. But look at James Matthews. He's fifth, ahead of Helio Castroneves.
Waiting then for the red lights to flash to green. Away they go, and a disastrous start. Jamie Davis is stalled on the grid. Jamie Davis fails to get the car going. He does so now. This is the second attempt at starting the race because already we've had Owen McCauley stationary on the grid. The race therefore has been reduced from 20 laps to 19. The second start underway. Up then to the right-hander of Sear Corner they go. Who's in the lead? It's Gavin. Gavin leads. Second is Warren Hughes. Third is Ralph Furman, and into fourth goes James Matthews with Jamie Davis a long way back after that dreadful start, and Hughes is all over the back of Gavin now.
Yes, Hughes trying every way, which way to get past. He knows he's got to do it early. They touch wheels. And looking up there on the inside for trying to find a way by was Furman. There wasn't one, but it wasn't the one of trying on his part.
This is going to be a tremendous dice over the opening laps. Nobody can afford not to move up through the order, and Gavin can't afford to relax. He's got to try and break the opposition. He's got to try and pull away. 17 goes through. Gonzalo Rodriguez, the young Uruguayan. Russell, lap one. Furman looking on the inside of Hughes.
Looking on the inside of Hughes isn't enough. Matthews, we should say, tests on this circuit a lot. David Sears Motor Racing, it's their home circuit, so he does know his way around here. Nevis up well, pressuring hard in number 2 of the Paul Stewart cars. And behind the man who should be really going an awful lot better, that's Jeremy Dufour.
Number 25, Jeremy Dufour, not really being able to make the same inroads that he ought to be doing in this race. Number 11 going well, Luis Garcia, the young Brazilian, also run by David Sears Motorsport. He's going well, he should do here at Snetterton. Leaders down to the Essex, still Gavin up front, Hughes second, and now Furman's dropping away a little bit.
Yes, Furman, I think, is sitting back there and wondering whether it's worth it or whether he should go for the points at this stage of the season. It's still a pretty wide open battle. He could do with all the points he could get, but better to finish than throw it at the scenery. He's not the sort of driver that will give up easily. Here's the problem.
And it's Cristiano de Mata in the pit lane. The West Surrey Racing run Brazilian who won at Alton Park is in trouble. Leaders coming into Russell. Puff of tar smoke there from Castroneves. And there is number 11, Luis Garcia. He's closing, is he not, up onto the tail of Jeremy Dufour.
I think all that group's closing at the moment because I think Matthews is holding them up. But there's a yellow flag out there and I don't know why.
Somebody must have had a spin down at Russell. You see there de Mata rejoining from the pits. He tucks in fourth on the road, but he is already a lap behind, so really he can salvage very little from his race, unless he can get a point for fastest lap, which will take it away, therefore, from the championship protagonists. Through Sear Corner, lots more locking up going on there, lots of tar smoke. Rodriguez again getting involved in all the dramas.
Somebody raising the cement dust as well. Here's Matthews, you can see on the very far side, and I think he's going to have to give best here. Summoning up the sinews of the body. Helio Castroneves comes through, and Dufour tries to follow him. But Dufour realises that's not on.
It was a brave effort on the inside of the second element of the S's. So the top three, Gavin now pulling away, Warren Hughes falling back, and he is coming under great pressure from number 1, Ralph Furman, and the car in the gravel trap at Russell is Werner Luckberger. Now, with the car in the gravel in a dangerous place like that, the yellow flag will be out for at least a lap or two, and a yellow flag means no overtaking.
That's only on that corner, however, and I don't think it's going to make much difference. It's up here that the action is. Warren Hughes, the man who's under pressure at the moment. Matthews, you can see, is still holding up Dufour a little bit. He hasn't found a way through. Gonzalo Rodriguez after Kurt Mollikins, but can't make a way through at the moment.
James Matthews now being something of a mobile chicane as far as Jeremy Dufour is concerned. The French teenager would desperately like to get past Matthews. If he could get past, I'm sure he'd be able to pull away. Now on the inside is Dufour, down to the S's they come. Look how Neves has pulled well clear of Matthews, and Dufour this time goes through. Great bit of driving. Jeremy Dufour moves through now, up into 5th place.
So Dufour moves up, but the effort, I think, is going to be too late to be significant as far as this race is concerned. One man it's worth keeping an eye to is Galter Salas. Salas only seems to go well on occasions, and this happens to be one of them. Rapt concentration in the pits, watching Ollie Gavin get on with the job. He's now looking to me as if he's got this nicely under control, and that is Warren, who has thrown it at the scenery, collects it back together again, and I think he had a bit of help. I think Furman was involved in that somewhere, and I think Furman is off.
Furman has disappeared. There is a Paul Stewart racing car, but that into 2nd place now, a long way back. Is Helio Castroneves up into 3rd. Comes Jeremy Dufour. Now Ralph Furman is out of the race. Warren Hughes is crawling down towards us. Now what on earth happened there? Hughes fighting for control. He must have a seriously deranged rear end to that car. But Ralph Furman, who was third and I thought was starting to settle for that place and think about the championship, torpedoed Warren Hughes. He's caused both cars to go off. Furman is out of the race and Hughes is crawling back to the pits, surely to retire.
Well, yes, I don't think he's sunk, but I think that he's certainly losing water.
Now, this is Sear Corner. The lout Alan Burkhoff goes through. Any minute now you'll see Hughes. And there Furman, yes, Furman does hit him. Now, what on earth caused that? Either Furman had a brake problem or he didn't brake at all.
Well, whatever it was, I'm afraid we're going to have to find out after the event rather than right now. We can watch Oliver Gavin with what I'm quite sure, as far as he's concerned, is a very comfortable lead indeed, as a very disappointed, dispirited Warren Hughes comes in to explain what happened to the team.
But don't forget, this is great news for Gavin as far as the championship is concerned, because Ralph Furman ain't going to score a beam here at Snetterton, and Oliver Gavin, if he can hang on up front, he's going to win, and therefore narrow the gap between them by 10 points in the championship, and Gavin is at Sear Corner for the last time. A slight smile on his face, no doubt, as he sees Furman's car off by the side of the track. Gavin is going to win here on Furman's doorstep.
Yes, the man who came in from the cold of Formula 3000, Oliver Gavin. The car, specially adapted to take that over 6-foot frame, has got this one buttoned up, and seemingly at the back end of this 1995 season is making a stern challenge to steal away the points in the championship, which he felt when he started the year should rightfully be his. He comes up through the last corner on the last lap to take the checkered flag. Gavin wins, narrows the gap between himself and the opposition, and it's an easy win too.
So, a delighted Oliver Gavin wins here at Snetterton, with Helio Castroneves salvaging something for Paul Stewart Racing in second place, and third going to Jeremy Dufour after an action-packed race here in Norfolk. Fourth, Luis Garcia, his best finish of the season, ahead of his teammate James Matthews with Qualter Salis for Fortec Motorsport in sixth.
17 points now separate Gavin from Furman. It's a race to the finish.
I'm very, very happy that it's closed the championship gap down to 17 points now from me to Ralph. And there's 5 races to go, 100 points up for grabs. Well, 105 actually, including fastest lap. So, you know, I'm very, very confident.
Well, congratulations, well done, and many more good races till the season's end. Well done indeed.
Thank you.
Congratulations then to Oliver Gavin. That race just beat the showers. We're going to take a short break, and while we're doing that, let's hope the showers turn to sun, because the TVRs are coming next, and they don't like the damp. Stay tuned. TVR Tuscans are getting ready for the second of their double-header. The man on pole, stopping in the right place, is Ian Flux. Before we let them get underway, let's show you highlights of the first race.
And in that first race, Ian Flux, that man again, was involved in the thick of the action. Here trying to find a way past Steve Guglielmi, was behind Robin Brundle. Brother of Grand Prix driver Martin was involved with lots of tar smoke with Colin Blower at Russell. It was a cracking race, Guglielmi leading from Flux, Brundle having been given a 10-second penalty. Looking back from Martin Short's car, he was able to find a way past Guglielmi, who'd run wide coming out of the S's. Guglielmi was then assisted by Steve Cole, and that put Guglielmi facing the traffic briefly, coming through the bomb hole. Not the place to do it. Ian Flux ran out an easy winner. Would it be the same in race 2? Colin Blower came home second, with just taking third on the line, John Kent. Brundle's penalty, though, dropping him a long way down the order. Steve Cole, therefore, took fourth ahead of Yeomans, Brundle sixth. That's the front 3 rows of the grid for race 2.
Already, as they come down towards us, no question about Colin Blower's intentions. It's to get out there and do it again. Blower out front there and trying certainly to get away, as up on the inside there are lock brakes. Rod Gretton hanging on in there. It looked as if it was all over for a minute. He lost a place while he collects his thoughts, I think, there to Steve Cole.
So Steve Cole moving up through the order around the outside of the vastly experienced TVR racer Rod Gretton. Blower leads. Ian Flux is in second place. In third is Robin Brundle as the cars make their way to Russell. No, Brundle's not. John Kent goes third and Martin Short runs wide. Jason Yeomans goes past him. Jason Yeomans, the young Scotsman run by Colin Blower's team, moves ahead of Martin Short. There's a wave yellow flag at Russell. Someone's gone off into the gravel trap and Ian Flux is in the lead and he's pulling away. Has Blower got a problem?
Well, Blower certainly seemed to get it all wrong there. Languishing back is Martin Short to where we normally expect to see him, locking up his brakes there, 22 Ian Flux. Whoa, he's gone wide. Is he still in the lead when they come out of the corner? Well, it didn't seem to make that much difference, but it was a tight moment.
Martin Short now back up ahead of Jason Yeomans. We're on board with John Kent. Kent going past Colin Blower. On the inside there was Steve Guglielmi. He gets the door closed in his face, though, by Blower. Not so much closer, forcefully shut there by the Hinckley garage owner out of the S's. Ian Flux in the lead. Now, can he pull away from the rest of them?
I think the greatest feature of this race is the driving of Robin Brundle. Really driving superbly. This man hasn't driven a car for so long. I know it's his home circuit, but it's a long time since he was in this sort of company, in one of the most difficult cars to drive, in a very, very strongly fought championship.
And this only his second ever race in a Tuscan, the other one being about an hour and a half ago. Out of Russell they come. Brundle tugged right up behind Steve Guglielmi. The car's fishtailing as in comes the power. Up now, through the box, over the line, Flux leads, Blower second. A penalty for number 92, that is Derek Stewart. It doesn't affect the leaders at all, but Flux, I think, is now being caught by Kent.
Cut off in his prime. Martin Short found all of a sudden that the inside line wasn't his, as through came the redoubtable Brundle to keep the place.
Short under pressure again there from Jason Yeomans, but look at John Kent. Kent is closing that gap, hand over fist. He pulls out now. He's having a look on the inside as they go down to Russell. Is that going to give John Kent the lead? It should. It does. John Kent takes the lead, or does he? Because Ian Flux fights back as they come through the S's. John Kent in number 27, the championship and now race leader, shuts the door in the face of Flux.
Magnificent pronunciation. Flux trying all he knows to disparage the efforts of the man in front. And he still could do it. Looks there, not here. Up on the inside, that was a moment to behold. Who's going to win it, I'm not quite sure. Well, it was Guglielmi, through and past. I don't know how, Colin Blower's still wondering how as well, and right behind is Brundle.
Guglielmi has raced around Snetterton many times in the 24-hour race that used to be held here. He knows the circuit well. Brundle goes through to fourth. He knows the circuit well also. He doesn't know the car that well. Both of them driving superbly here, and John Kent locks up. He locks up again. He's going to run wide. Are they going to be side by side as they come out of Sear? This gives Ian Flux retake the lead. Somebody else runs wide. That's Brundle. He's now in fourth place as Martin Short comes up alongside him. Colin Blower's alongside the power of them. But look up front. Who is on the inside? It's Kent. On the outside is Flux. Who's going to lead? It's going to be the last of the late breakers. It's Kent. John Kent still leads with Flux right up behind him and Guglielmi third, driving superbly. Look how they're reeling in the leaders now with Flux on the inside. This should give him the lead. It does. Fantastic.
Beautifully timed manoeuvre by this very experienced driver who has driven everything. Formula 3, Formula Libre, big saloons in the Touring Car Championship. A very competent driver indeed, and he's got that lead back. Can he keep it on the brakes? Almost too long. Guglielmi snatches second place. Once there, I'm quite sure John Kent is wondering whether he should go for a rest in his own aisle.
John Kent goes from first to third in the space of half a lap. This is the best TVR Tuscan race we've had this year without any shadow of doubt. And Ian Flux is leading it from Steve Guglielmi, who led the earlier race, remember. In third place now is John Kent. Fourth is Short. Fifth is Brundle, with a bit of trim there hanging off underneath the car. In sixth place is Jason Yeomans, but it might all change at the next corner. It's Sear, and Yeomans is on the inside of Brundle. It does all change because he goes fifth and Brundle runs very, very wide indeed. He's going to rejoin in sixth. And look at Blower, well down now. He's seventh and a long way back.
I think he's wise the way things are going on up front there. Look at this battle. Up moves Guglielmi. He's thinking to himself, well, if one man can do it, another one can, and it could be me. Ian Flux is probably grinning underneath that helmet and thinking, well, yeah, you get on with it, sunshine. You've got to get past me first. That was a very tight manoeuvre. Short there, desperately close to the tail and almost clobbering the tail there. As we watch the leaders under braking, look at that, absolutely locked up. No question about it. That was Flux making room for Guglielmi to sort out his own problem.
They don't do that in Formula 1, do they? So Ian Flux now has Guglielmi right up alongside him as they make their way up over the line. And Guglielmi leads. Steve Guglielmi goes through to take over the lead here at Snetterton. Brilliant racing from the TVR Tuscan field. Steve Guglielmi in number 6 is leading. Ian Flux is in second place. Remember, he's already had one win today. He'd like to make it 2 out of 2 if he can. John Kent is third. Martin Short is now fourth. Jason Yeomans is fifth. Robin Brundle is sixth. At least that's how it was as they went into the corner. Short's had a problem. Short goes down to 7th place. Oh dear, Martin Short outbraked himself at Sear, and he's now got a lot of work to do again.
Yes, that was a little mistake on his part there, but look at the way that Flux is pressuring all the time. Guglielmi must wish perhaps he'd left this for a lap or so, but you don't do things like that. He who hesitates is lost, and right now all he wants to do is win, not lose.
Of all the people to have pressuring you in a car like a TVR Tuscan, it is not Ian Flux because he's a very, very hard driver. Look at him weaving one way, then the other. Guglielmi locks up, lots of tar smoke. The door is left wide open for Ian Flux. They're side by side. Guglielmi sorting out a huge moment. He hits Flux. There's contact between them. Ian Flux retakes the lead. Steve Guglielmi is down in second with a damaged car. John Kent is now third. And poor old Steve Guglielmi was pressured into making a mistake at Russell by the vastly experienced Fluxy. This is the last lap.
into that last lap, and Flux, I'm sure, had worked out precisely what the action was going to be there. That's why he chose the line he chose. He knew that there'd be an attempt to outbrake. Watching it all is Colin Blower. He's pulled in with, as you can see, damage to the windscreen of the car. What hit him, I don't know. I'm quite sure that Guglielmi is wondering what hit him. Had he not hit Flux, he would probably have lost that car completely, however. Here's Robin Brundle. A great race for him. Up to 4th place. Ahead at the moment of Martin Short. But coming up for the last time into that corner, the same line every lap. Beautifully placed. Beautiful to accelerate away towards the line. Ian Flux takes his win here at Snetterton. And my goodness me, didn't he deserve it?
A magnificent win in a magnificent race, and look at that for second, side by side. Kent and Guglielmi crossing the line together. Who took second? It's John Kent